Hey guys, this is Chip Taylor coming to you from Zalisi, Ukraine, where we have a small psychological clinic free to our patients. We treat anxiety disorders generally related to the conflict with Russia, the Russian invasion. What we do is grow a lot of ingredients for Mexican food. This is one of our bigger greenhouses. I just planted a nice row of arugula that will overwinter, hopefully a couple of rows of parsley over there. Just need to have something growing in the soil to ensure the microbiology has something to feed on over the winter. I was a little bit concerned, and I still am, about the lack of moisture in the soil. And so we'll see if we can't spread a little compost. I've got some really good stuff that's been sitting for a couple of years now, and we'll spread that out in these beds. This is where I normally put all the tomatoes and peppers, mostly peppers here, habaneros, jalapenos, serranos, that kind of stuff, a lot of hatch peppers, that kind of stuff. And so what I did, instead of cleaning it all out, because there's a lot of trash left in here, we had some refugees, we had some locals, we've had some people that anyway, there's some stuff to clean up, and we'll take care of that. That's not a big problem. I've got a couple of holes in the plastic. I'll do that and get this thing sealed up before it gets cold. Right now it's still highs in the 80s, lows somewhere around 60. My biggest concern with this part of the world has not been the temperature, it's some lack of sunlight. And so the sun goes away sometime in September and doesn't come back until April. It'll have you slitting your wrist. But we have a nice grow room with a lot of grow lights, and I go and sit in there for 15 minutes or so and absorb as much light as I can. The main point of what I'm talking about to you today is that we don't sit around waiting for somebody to say, hey, you probably ought to do this, or wouldn't you like to do that? We don't wait for invitations. We just go ahead and do it ourselves. When we see a need, we fill it. There's been a lot of damage done to this part of the world psychologically. And there's not a long line of people waiting to come over here and do this work. A few years ago, when I first landed in Moscow, the looks on the people's faces, that was 2006, and I'm walking down the street, and there was this hollowness, this look in people's eyes. And I recognized that hopelessness, that lack of direction, lack of confidence, lack of purpose. And so when I got involved with working with people over here in Eastern Europe, I was asked to train Russians to be alcohol and drug counselors. I ran an NGO in Moscow for a few years. And as I did the research on what the problems are, there's places on earth with worse alcoholism rate percentages. France has got a worse alcohol rate per percentage than anywhere else in the world. And you can argue that, but these are the numbers that I was given, what I found. So France has got a very high addiction alcohol rate, but they've got a lot of rehabs. There's places in sub-Saharan Africa, mostly Muslim countries especially, who have a very, very few alcohol and drug rehabs, but their addiction rate is very low. Here in Ukraine especially, they've got the highest addiction rate and fewest number of rehabs than anywhere else on earth. This is the worst place on earth to be an alcoholic. When I landed here in 2007, there were 17 rehabs in the entire country that used the 12 steps. That's for 44 million in population. That's not very good. Now with the war, these people are scattered. These rehabs, if they're functioning at all, are far and few between, and a lot of the young men are off in combat, as they should be, defending Ukraine. And so there's not a long line of people coming over here to live in Ukraine to help an alcoholic population that is so desperate and so overwhelmed and with so few opportunities to get sober. I got sober in Statesboro, Georgia in 1987. There were 21 meetings a day, I'm pretty sure. There were at least three groups. And so it was, even at that, it was rather difficult for a lot of people to get sober, even with all the opportunities. You come over here with no opportunities, no resources, no one to show you how, no one to hold your hand, no one to explain this is how you apply the 12 steps to your life. No one's here to do that. Very few. And so I took it upon, not so much myself, but I took it upon myself to try to fix that, try to do something about it. Because how could I sit comfortably on St. Simon's Island, sitting in the sun, getting a tan, getting fat, eating marshmallows, while people over here dying? And it's not for need of a hospital. They don't need buildings or any kind of physical entities, material things. They just need words. They just need information. And that was freely given to me. The whole way I got sober is one guy took personal interest in my life and showed me what it is to turn your life around from addiction. And that's what we do over here. And now with the war especially, we do a lot of work with PTSD, different anxiety disorders, and addiction and suicide and PTSD are all intertwined. And, now there's a few people that are doing this work, but it's not enough. When the war first started, when the invasion first took place of Crimea and then the Donbass, 2013, 2014, I met 5 psychologists who knew what PTSD was because they had worked with veterans from Afghanistan. But 5 in a country, like I said, of 44 million people, that's nothing. And so what we do is we train psychologists, we work with patients, we teach clergy, we teach police, we teach civically active people what it means to be in addiction, what it means to be suffering from anxiety disorders, PTSD, and how to help these people not just turn their lives around, but certainly how to help the veterans re-enter civilian society. That's one of the things we do here on the farm, is we teach people not so much how to be farmers, but how to be entrepreneurs, how to look at what you have, what you know how to do, what you have available to you, and how to put all those things into place. It's pretty sad when you join the military. In order to defend your country, you come from a village with high unemployment, no real opportunities. You go off and fight for 18 months, and you come home to the village, maybe wounded, physically wounded, certainly psychologically wounded. You come back to the same village and there's still no jobs, and nothing's any better than it was before you left. Those are the people that we sincerely reach out to. I had no hope. When my life turned around, I had no hope. And somebody took personal interest, held my hand, showed me what to do. That's what we're trying to do here. If you like videos like this, because we do talk a lot about agriculture, and we do talk a lot about entrepreneurship, and we talk about serving God and finding your purpose and that kind of stuff. If you like that kind of stuff, like this video. If you have subscribed to this channel already, you're awesome. If you haven't subscribed to this, please do. Share it with your friends. If you have any comments, please leave them, and have a blessed day.